I grew up in airports. I grew up in the in-between of many different cultures and many different spaces my whole life. From the ages of 8 through 16, I spent my time traveling with my family, and I never felt like I fully belonged anywhere. This was a theme that carried through my whole life. I am half Chinese and I'm half American, and I felt like I was never fully one or the other. And airports were that place where I felt it the most. I was traveling between the United States and China every year and spending time just feeling like I was getting pulled away to this other part that I never had enough time to fully develop into. And so, in a way, airports were a little bit of that safe space. I found myself at airports sitting on the floor, oftentimes as a child, just watching people go by and seeing so many different cultures and backgrounds and people of different countries leaving and coming to different areas. And whether they were coming for leisure or for work or to live, I found so much intrigue and curiosity about what their stories were. Were they like me? Were they bouncing between two spaces? Did they feel like they had family in one area or another? Did they make a lot of friends? What was their life like? I found myself questioning so much about other people's stories, and I think airports are really a space where my curiosity began to really connect with people and understand where they are at in life. My name is Esther Koning. I am the founder and lead creative at Seraph Design. We are a brand and website design agency who focuses on telling stories of people from all backgrounds, from a multicultural lens, and connecting with people who are mission driven and have a deep desire to connect with the world and make the world a better place. I wanted to share a little bit of my story because it has brought me to where I am now. And culture has been a huge part of that, and it's something that I'm super passionate about carrying through all of my work. Like I said, I spent my life in the in-between and trying to navigate and piece together what is a way that I see the world and how do I articulate it with other people. Because I was always a little bit jealous of people who were so solid in who they were. They grew up in the same place for 18 years of their life. They went to college not that far away, and then they embarked on a career, and their path was perfectly laid out for them. Whereas mine was pieced together, part of it in the United States, part of it in China, part of it running around Thailand. Like there were so many places that I got to travel to, and I'm so thankful for the opportunity to have gotten to see that. My parents were missionaries, so we were always traveling and always connecting with people, and I found it really special to get to hear people's stories. And as a child, I wasn't a part of these conversations. I was kind of sitting on the side, but always listening into what was going on. From a young age, it really turned some wheels in my head that I never actually got out until I was older, but I was always thinking about how I would tell that story a little bit differently. In a similar way, my desire for, or my interest in design was sparked because of being in different areas. I went to an international school, and so I met a lot of different people from the Netherlands, from Korea, from Germany. Everybody was from a different space, and what they would bring into school, whether it was the notebooks that they would carry or the food that they would bring in or the bowls that they brought in, I felt that they were so interesting because it was also different, and it was this lively mix of culture together. Nobody really felt out of place because everybody was a little bit different. Everybody was kind of in between these two things. When I went to college, I think that was the first time that I started to accept that I was this in between and being really proud of being in between. I had spent my whole life trying to fight that I wasn't fully American or I wasn't fully Chinese, and I just was so angry and frustrated inside. And when I let myself break down and accept, okay, I am in the middle of this and it's actually kind of cool, I think that was a turning point for me when I realized that who I am I have a story to tell. I have something to share with people that is unique. And all these people that I had been listening to for years tell their story and thinking, oh, they have such a cooler story and here's how I would tell it. I never thought about how I would tell my own story. And so design for me has been a way to tell that story. And specifically with Seraph Design, when I went through the branding for my business, I wanted a way to honor my heritage and my story and share that in a way that felt meaningful to me. This is something that I do with all of my clients as well. I work with a lot of people who kind of live in this mixture of cultures. Maybe they are a person of color, or they work in an area where there's a lot of people of color, and so they're having to unpack a lot of things and find where they fit in. And I think there's something really powerful about evolving and learning as you grow. And I think that culture meeting design is a really powerful way to bridge that gap for people and to tell stories in a unique and compelling way for them to really understand, feel connected. Culture for me has always been about family, and it's been about relationships, and a lot of times around food and conversations. And I think that so much of design is also rooted in that community aspect. So putting them together in a way that is super powerful and compelling is what drives me now. And I love getting to see where culture intersects with design and how to tell stories in a powerful way. It's really, really cool to see the end products and get to share where everybody's airport moments are. Where is that middle ground where you're just sitting and you say, wow, okay, they do things that way. That's really cool. I've never seen it like that. But then you can go on your journey and you can take pieces of what you've learned and what you've seen and get to live and take it back to your life and get to see how beauty around us is really powerful. And it also really helps to serve as a reminder that we're all the same. We are all going out on our journeys. Maybe we're bouncing between different countries. Maybe we're staying in the same place, but we all have a story to tell that is so compelling and unique and different and nuanced. And there's so many pieces that you can bring through within your storytelling. If you run a business, you bring that through your brand, and it creates this really passionate and personal experience for you and for anybody who witnesses it.